Good morning and welcome to this week's Wednesday with Warbus. I just want to give you hopefully a brief update on Rivers Elementary School. If you recall, we received a grant from the federal government through the Department of Defense to build a brand new elementary school on Altus Air Force Base. It's about a $50 million project. They're paying 80% of it, and then the district comes up with 20%. We won't get into the details of that. But lots of work has been going on. We meet with the architects and the construction company and Altus Air Force Base periodically, but we meet with someone every 2 weeks. So yes, lots has been going on. They've been working really hard on the plans. I'm not going to get into all the details of the plans. I've picked out a few key spots to just keep you informed, but all the tile and plumbing and electrical, I don't know that much about it, and we're not going to get into that. So we'll set that to the side. Here's the timeline. It's quite a timeline, but just to kind of show you where we're at and where we've been going. This just shows that we started basically in June of 23. We're past the 30% mark, which we're right on time to where we wanted to be. We reached that in November, so we're doing well. Our next goal is our 60% design, which is going to be February. Then we go to 90% by April. The bidding process, we're shooting for September, and then hopefully we will break ground in October 1st, but we're hopeful that it's sooner than that. This is worst case scenario, and then it'll take probably about 2 years to build. So that's kind of our timeline, and we're very flexible. We love being flexible. But here's the plans themselves, just to remind you. This would be north. I'm sitting on the south side. This is current Rivers, and this is where the new build's going to go. Currently, there's some softball fields around it, but new build, old Rivers Elementary. So here's the parking lot. And this is what the parking lot at this point, things change as we evolve, but there's going to be lots of parking, and the way the traffic will come here, drop off, and rotate out. This wing, they'll come in here, drop off, and rotate out. So it's great flow for the traffic. We're very excited about that. Here is a view from the front, which will be facing basically northwest. Here's the entrance of the building, and if you recall, the administrative area looks like a control tower, so it's rounded, and then there's the two wings of the building, and then the roof is designed, this is the end of the roof, it's designed like an upside down airplane wing. So that's the basic look on the outside, and here's a view again from the top. This is the front facing again northwest, the two wings, the main administrative area, the cafeteria area, then gymnasium area. And just a reminder also, the gymnasium area will be the safe room, a storm shelter for the students and faculty and staff. So that'll be another site that has a storm shelter. We're very excited about that process. So now, this area, like I talked about, as you walk in the door, there's actually 3 doors you have to get to the secretarial area. But that's this area here in the middle. Up on top, it's going to be rounded like it's the control tower. But to utilize the space better, the actual part on the inside is not a circle. We discovered that was not good use of our space. So they'll be buzzed in to this area. Then if they're welcome in, they'll be buzzed into this area. They can't get down the hallways. It'll be where they can't get through there. The public, receptionist, and then you can walk around this area. That's a hallway. There's going to be restrooms here that the public could use if they needed to. The principal's office, secretary office, the vault, the conference room, storage, all kinds of offices, counselors, different assistant principal, Then there's a real nice nurses station back here with a place for 2 beds, a workstation, a private restroom back here in case someone's ill. But it gets that sick person out of the view of everyone else, where everyone doesn't know who's sick, and then also just lets them get back there and be rested. And then this whole inside circle is a work room, and it's going to be designed to where it will have furniture that can be set up like a conference room, or it could be for a Christmas party or a meeting of some kind, or it can be dismantled and it's a workroom that's got the copiers, the die cut. One whole wall is a sink with cabinets and a workstation. So it's going to be a fantastic work room. So come in the front door. If you go left, this will be the pre-K through first grade wing, and that's this wing right here. And so the first wing, the first few classrooms are first grade. So the way they're designed, we have 2 special ed classrooms, a set of restrooms, and then the classrooms are just set up really nice where there's, when you walk in, there's a whole bank of cabinets and storage area and workspace, and then cubbies on one wall. So that's the first grade. If you keep going down this hall, there's another set of restrooms. And when you get to pre-KK, if you'll notice, between each 2 rooms, they share a Jack and Jill restroom. It's just a 1-seater for that one student that needs to go to the restroom. They will have teacher's aides, but it's just nice if one person needs to go to the restroom, you don't have to take them down the hall. So every 2 classrooms that are kindergarten or pre-K, they'll have that Jack and Jill restroom. But again, all the classrooms other than that are designed the same, with all the work area and storage, and then the cubbies for the students. So this wing is identical to the wing on the other side. So I won't show you that one just so we're not pressed for time. Okay, back in the front, here's the front door again, administration, one wing, another wing. On the back side, which would be the southeast side, is the gymnasium. It's not quite a full-size court, but it's so close most people aren't going to notice the difference. There's going to be a little bit of seating here because we're not really going to play competition games there, but there will be some seating for students if they have several students coming in, or they might have something where they want a few parents to come in, but there's not going to be a large amount of seating. But it'll be a nice gymnasium, and then there's going to be a set of restrooms, just a small set, so that if you're in PE class, you don't have to go down the hall to get to the restroom, but there'll be, and also, since this is a safe room, it gives us another set of restrooms. Hopefully we never have to go in there for storm shelter, but if we do, it does have a set of restrooms. It'll have some storage, lots of storage, and then it has an office for Coach Benway there with lots of storage. Right next to that is a nice STEM lab and STEM classroom with all kinds of workspace, and then it's going to have an area for the robotic pit where they do their competitions, but it's going to be a nice large STEM lab classroom to be used. Then again, this is that main area, the 2 wings. As you come in, this is the Library Media Center, which is going to be located directly behind the front door. Most of it's going to be glass looking out at outside, so it'll be very nice. You come in the main door, storage, circulation desk for the librarian. There'll be all kinds of shelving, small shelving as well as along the wall. And then there's going to be an area over here where it's going to have seating going up. There'll be bookcases on the back side of that, but it's designed for a teacher or maybe a couple classes to sit their students there, have a presentation up on the stage. It could be a student performing something, or it could be somebody reading a book to the class, or it could be the teacher teaching the class, but it's going to be an area there. And then also over here on the back side, there's going to be an area that's going to have tables and chairs and computers. It's going to be basically a computer lab, but it's an area for a classroom to be in. So theoretically, the Library Media Center is going to be a space where you could be checking books in and out with students. You could have a classroom over in the reading area, and then you could also have in the lab area, the computer area, another class. So it's going to be very, hopefully, user-friendly. As we move forward, more people will be involved. With that said, we've had some teachers looking at how the classrooms are designed, principals, nurses, counselors, helping with the designing of their areas. PE, Coach Benway's had input on how that is designed. Librarian, again, with the library. So, again, here we are in the front. Now go to the west side, and it will be the cafeteria and vocal music area. So here's the library again. Then here's vocal music, which is going to have an entrance from the back side into where the stage is. And then there's the cafeteria, which is also, we're calling it a cafetorium because it also serves as the auditorium. But what's really, really nice is the music room is centrally located for all students, and when they're doing performances, they can gather in the vocal music room and then work their way from the back side to get into the stage area. This is the cafeteria or cafetorium. We're going to have one set of restrooms with just a one-seater. It's not necessarily for everyday use for the students, because if one goes, they all want to go, but that's up to the teachers how they use that. It's more designed if we're having parents there for some reason, some kind of a program or something, that lets the parents come into the cafeteria. If they need to go to the restroom, it's right there close instead of them going down the halls. So it helps keep, for safety reasons, keeps us all contained where we need people to be contained. Also in there, there's lots of storage. Also, what's nice about this is we've got a real nice kitchen with lots of storage, large walk-in dry area, and a very large walk-in freezer with all the state-of-the-art equipment and offices, and the cooks will park along the back side. Vocal music will be able to park on the back side. PE will be able to park on the back side if they want. And then if you recall, behind each wing, there will be, I went blank. Playgrounds, thank you. There'll be playgrounds, and you'll have input on that. We're not near to that point, but that's kind of where we're at. Lots going on. People always asking questions about it. I promise we're constantly working on it. We're moving as fast as we can, but we also want to move as efficiently as we can so that once we actually start the building, that it goes up correctly. I can't even get into all of the criteria that has to be done from the federal side of it, in addition to the state side. The windows have to be at a certain angle. The roof has to be at a certain angle. The vegetation has to be a certain way. The materials have to be a certain amount of recycled materials. When we're dealing with federal money, it is so different than working inside the regular district. But we're doing it. It's going to be an amazing building. And then once we talk later on in January about the bond and one of the Library Media Center that we're going to be building, hopefully, and asking for at Altus Elementary School is going to mirror basically this amazing Library Media Center. So if you have any questions, email me and I'll try to answer those. But we're very excited about the process. And as always, may God continue to bless Altus Public Schools.